Would you like to hear a Cinderella tale with a boy that is pursued by a princess, and he has long, shiny, golden Rapunzel hair, and his fairy godmother is an indestructible cow? Yeah, it's a thing. The tale I'm telling is India, and I'm telling it today for my series, Oops, All Cinderellas, a series where I, Liz, share one of the thousands of Cinderella stories from around the globe, except, surprise, I have not added to this series since 2023. I guess there's just something about this year that has me wanting to go backwards in time. Who knows what that could be? There is just something so bad about 2025. Once upon a time, a young man found himself in one of those wicked stepmother situations. The woman barely fed the boy, and he got so skinny that even the family cow noticed. Okay, we're gonna fatten you up, kid. Weave a plate out of banana leaves, and I will feed you from my magical horns. Sure enough, she poured rice out of one horn and chutney out of the other, and the guy grew stronger and happier, and his stepmother set out to find out where he was getting fed. She found the cow and told her servants to kill it the following day, but the cow had other plans. Okay, kid, now you have to weave a rope out of rice straw. Don't be a perfectionist about it, just get it done. It's okay if it looks funny. Put it someplace where the servants will find it. You hide too, and when they try to commit cowicide on me, that's when you grab my tail. The next day, the servants tied up the cow with the hastily spun rope, and the guy snatched the cow's tail. When the servant tried to bludgeon the poor animal with an axe, the axe bounced off the cow's head and the rope snapped, and the west wind carried the cow and the boy away to a hidden jungle. When they landed, the cow multiplied into cattle, 200 strong. The boy took good care of them in the jungle, keeping them penned up but taking them out a couple times to graze and drink over the course of the day. Now, the boy had a good head of hair, long as hell and shining golden like the sun. While he was bathing in the river one day, a piece of his hair floated downstream and got caught by a princess during her own bath. Now, I don't know about you, but if a giant piece of hair got tangled up in my hands while I was swimming, well, I mean, I probably assume it was my own, but otherwise I'd be like, ugh, gross, but not this princess. This princess was like, damn, this hair is as long as I am tall. And she went to her father and said, Daddy, I want to marry the man whose hair is as long as I am tall. And he said, that sounds great, I'll ask around. The king sent a crow and a parrot to scout around for the guy, and that's how they located our Cinderfella. The birds lured the boy back to the palace by stealing his flute, and when he arrived, the royals measured his hair against the princess's height, and sure enough, it was the perfect fit. Match? I don't know. The king invited the boy to stay and marry the princess the day after the morrow. And at first the boy objected. He said, I cannot abandon my cattle, sir. The king pitched that the boy stay overnight and pick up the cows in the morning, and so the boy agreed. Unfortunately, the cows were pretty pissed at being penned up for 24 hours, and when the boy came back the following day, they knocked him over and they trampled all over his hair. They beat him around so badly that he was completely bald by the time they were done. And on top of that, they ran away, having no interest in being ignored for royalty. I know my worth. When the boy returned to the palace, the king and the princess barely recognized him, and when they did clock that this was the same kid with the formerly long locks, the princess said, Blech, I was in love with your hair, not your head, and she called off the wedding. The king felt bad, so he hired the boy to work as his servant. And in this charming book of tales, where I did originally read it, the king makes the boy apprentice to the royal barber with a very funny tagline, for no one knows the value of a good head of hair as well as you do. India has some really fun variants of this folk tale. In one version, it's a magical snake who not only saves him, but gives him the long hair and gives him the ability to bring anything back to life. So when his cattle all die from his negligence, he brings them back, and in that way, he keeps his hair, and that version has a happy ending for the couple. But this unhappy version is really interesting. It reminds me a lot of a Zuni tale called The Turkey Girl that you may know from a popular picture book version that came out like way back in the 80s. But there's some debate as to whether that folktale is a Cinderella tale, and I'm going to break that down in a future video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you soon for more Oops Cinderellas, because again, I don't want to be here right now. I'm going to go back in time.